Hey, what's going on, guys? TCG here, and today we're going to be profiling my first expanded deck that I've made. I've been toying around in expanded because there's a bunch of regionals that are coming up in the future that are expanded around me. And I just wanted to test out this deck because it seemed like a lot of fun, and it seemed like pretty annoying, which is my favorite way to play, is playing annoying decks. And so, let me know what type of expanded decks you want to play. I have one other deck in mind that I still need to put together. I got a couple proxies in the one I'm going to be profiling today because I don't have all the cards. And I'll explain what they are. It's just, I really wanted to show off this deck. Now, this isn't actually my list. It's my friend Tyler's list that he said it was okay I profile. And so, this is not my list at all. This is my friend Tyler's list. So, the deck we're going to be featuring is Sabeleye Garbodor. Alright, and so our main attacker is going to be Sabeleye. And Sabeleye, for one colorless, flip a coin if heads the defending Pokemon is now confused rate for 10 damage. And the more important attack, Junk Hunt. Put 2 item cards from your discard pile into your hand. So we're going to be trying to use Junk Hunt as much as possible because and recycle the trainers we play. So, the next Pokemon, this isn't the correct Trubbish. We play 3 Trubbish. This is not the correct Trubbish to play. There's multiple different ones, but there's one that's Acid Spray, I think it is. Flip a coin if heads, discard an energy attached to the opponent's active Pokemon. That's the one I would want to play if I had them, but I couldn't find them. Next, we play two Garbodors with Garbotoxin. And what Garbotoxin reads is, if this player has if this Pokemon has a tool card attached to it, all abilities on the field, how it's worded in each player's hand and each player's discard pile have no abilities except Garbotoxin. Alright, and if we're gonna be wanting to play, if we have a good advantage and we want to start going offensive, we play one Garbodor with Trash Lance. This attack does 20 damage for each trainer. Or each item. Each item in your opponent's discard pile. So, towards late game, when there's a ton of items and trainers in the discard pile, it's gonna be doing a ton of damage for huge knockouts. Next, we play one Giraffe Rig with the attack Get Lost. Put 2 cards from your opponent's discard pile into the Lost Zone. The way I've found I like using it the most is using a Crushing Hammer or an Enhanced Hammer on a DCE and put it into the discard. And then using Get Lost to put it in into the Lost Zone so they can't get it back. And now next, this is not the correct Articuno. This is an Articuno GX where for its GX attack, both actives discard all energy attached. So you can just use that on big attackers that have, say, 5 or 6 energy attached, and you can just use its GX attack and have the opponent discard all the energies and set them back for that turn. Alright, for our support Pokemon, we play Setup Shaman. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may draw up until you have 6 cards in your hand. Super good support Pokemon. In the early game, you don't want to be using it, of course, when you have Garbodor out, since you can't use the ability. And we also play one Tapu Lele GX. When you play this from your hand onto your bench, you may search your deck for any supporter card and put it into your hand. So 2 really good support Pokemon that you don't want to start them, but you want them early game on your first turn to set up. Going on to our supporters, we play a bunch of a good amount of supporters. We play 4 Professor Sycamore, discard your hand and draw 7 cards. It's probably the best supporter we play, that's why we play 4. And then we play 2N. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck and draws 1 card for each prize card they have left. So, say if you're not going to be taking prizes very rarely. So, say if we have 6 prizes and the opponent only has 1 prize left, we're putting them down to a 1-card hand, which can set them back a lot. Next, we play 1 Team Skullgrunt. Your opponent reveals their hand and discard 2 energy cards from it. I was playing against one of my friends, and I had the Giraffe rig in the active, and I used Team Skullgrunt, and they had 2 DCEs in hand they didn't attach, so I just said discard both DCEs, and then I used Get Lost. So a pretty good way to use the Team Skullgrunt. Next we play one Faba, just for all the big special energy decks or stadiums that get in our way. We can just Faba away the DCE instead of having to use Get Lost to get it in the Lost Zone. Next we play one Guzma. Switch one of your bench Pokemon with the active Pokemon. If you do, your opponent switches. You get to switch your opponent's active as well. I don't know what's going on with my voice today. It's not working with me. Team Flare Grunt, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Just another way of denying energies, which is what this deck is super good at doing, is just energy denial and not letting them set up their board. Next we play, I don't have this card, I couldn't find it. It's Hiker. And what Hiker says is, look at your opponent's top 5 cards of their deck, pick one of those cards and put it on top of the deck, and then shuffle the rest of their deck. So you're essentially controlling their top deck for the next turn, which can be super good if you want to try and slow them down and make it to where they're not drawing into anything they need and it's useless at the time. Next we play one Gladion. Look at your face down prize cards and put one of them into your hand. Then shuffle Gladion back into your prizes and shuffle your prizes and lay them back out. So Gladion's super good about just seeing what you have prize, and then being able to shuffle, what you have prize, and being able to pick one of those prize cards and then put it into your hand and putting Gladion back in its spot. And then our last supporter is Lieutenant Surge's Strategy. Now you can only play this card if you're behind on prizes, which 99% of the time you are going to be behind on prizes. And it says, during this turn you now can play 3 supporters. So what you can do is you can play Surge, and then play any other 2 supporters. You can't like Surge, play Team Flare Grunt, then Via Seeker Surge, and then use 2 more supporters. You can only use Surge once per turn. And then that's all of our supporters. We're going to be going on to all of our trainers now. We play 4 Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for any 1 Pokemon. Super good for just Pokemon search as it is, and helpful for finding a certain Pokemon that you need in a specific time. So for playing Trash Lance, you have to have a tool attached. So we play 3 Float Stone, and this is the best tool to put on a Garbodor, just because not only does it shut off your all abilities, but also makes it to where Float Stone, when it's attached to a Pokemon, that Pokemon has free retreat. Alright, next we play 3 Trainer's Mail. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a trainer card you find there, except Trainer's Mail, and put it into your hand and then shuffle your deck. So you can use Trainer's Mail to find any of your supporters, any of the rest of the trainers you play, or any stadiums. It's super helpful for if you're digging to find a certain card. You can use Trainer's Mail and it'll help find it. So I know I have Crushing Hammers, but I couldn't find them. But we play 3 Crushing Hammers, and what it says is, flip a coin if heads, discard an energy on your opponent's field, which is just super good if it's a good flip card. So say if they have a couple energy on the field, you can use a couple Crushing Hammers and hopefully flip heads and discard those energy to slow them down. Now we play a ton of 1-of supporters. So to be able to use them again, we play 3 Via Seeker. Put a supporter from your discard pile into your hand. So that's just a way of being able to reuse certain supporters that we have that we only play 1 of. Next we play Trick Shovel. So we're a control-based deck. So 2 Trick Shovel. Trick Shovel says, look at the top card of either player's deck. You may discard the top card or return it back on top of their deck. So it's just like Hiker, controlling their top deck is super good and making it able to where they're able to not draw into anything. Next we play 1 Life Dew. if this Pokemon this card is attached to its knockout, take one less prize. So saying it's attached to a Sabeleye, they just won't take any prize cards for a knockout. So how we're always behind on prizes, we play one counter catcher. If we're behind on prizes, we can use this like a Lysander and switch one of the opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. Or switch the bench with their active. Now we play a couple special energy, so we play one special charge, shuffle 2 special energy from your discard pile into your hand. We play one super rod, shuffle any combination of Pokemon or basic energy from your discard pile into your deck. This is just one way we play of making sure that we don't deck ourselves out and that we're always in a controlling board state, not having to worry about decking out. Next, we play one Field Blower, choose any combination of Pokemon, tool, or stadium card in play, and discard it. And just a super good way of getting rid of, say, float stones, or choice bands, or muscle bands that your opponent might have in play that you need to get rid of. Next, we play one Reset Stamp. It's essentially a one-sided end where your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws one card for each prize card they have left. So if they have one prize card left, Reset Stamp to 1 is super good. And then the last item we play is Enhance Hammer. Discard a special energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. Just another way we play of denying special energy or just energy in general. Alright, moving on to our stadiums. We play one Black Market. When a dark Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, that has a dark energy attached to it is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, that player takes 1 fear prizes. So the way is just like Life 2, to where if a Sabeleye has any type of energy attached and is knocked out, you don't take a prize, which is super good for slowing down the board. Next, we play one Parallel City. Now, Parallel City is an older card that could be played 2 different ways. Like for this way, whichever way this side is facing, they can only have a bench of maximum of 3, which is super good for making your opponent discard Pokemon that they might, if they have more than 3. And then this side, Fire, Water, and Grass Pokemon take Fire, Water, and Grass Pokemon attacks do 20 less damage. So say if there's a Seismitoad EX in the active, they're only doing 10 damage now with a Quaking Punch. So it slows down the board state a lot for them. Next we play 3 Prism Energy. Now this is like Rainbow Energy, but so this card provides 1 colorless energy. If this Pokemon this card is attached to is a basic Pokemon though, this card provides every type of energy but provides only 1 energy at a time. So it's like Rainbow where it can be anything but only during once that turn. So we can use it for our Articuno GX as a water energy, our Garbodor as a psychic energy, or our Sabeleye as a dark energy. And then wrapping up the deck, we also play 3 dark energy to use for Sabeleye's Junk Hunt or Girafaregg's Get Lost, and just a way of retreating, of course. And that's going to be it for the Sabeleye.deck. I like to call it Junk Hunt. If you guys have any questions about the deck, leave them in the comments below and I'll try and answer them. And if you have any other ideas for decks you want me to play, just leave them in the comments and I'll try and make it. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later. Thank you.